for the sake of the beginners, we will do a quick recap of the structure of an option. Now, these are some of the points which we will go through. Now, every option has an underlying security or an instrument. Now, in this case, we are predominantly going to deal with equity options where the underlying security is the stock. There are two types of options. One is the call option, which is basically the right to buy, and a put option is right to sell. So an option gives us the right to either buy the security or to sell the security. So if we own a call option, it gives us the right to buy. If we own a put option, it gives us the right to sell. Every option has an expiry date. Unlike a stock, which does not expire unless the company goes bankrupt, every option expires. This is very similar to an insurance policy. Just like an insurance policy has a certain validity period, same is the case with an option. An insurance policy is actually nothing but a put option. Now, this is how the expiry dates look like. So options, they started with monthly expiries, but then they also have quarterly expiries, and now majority of the options, they have weekly expiries. So we have options expiring every Friday of the week, and there are some underlying security which has options expiring every couple of days. I have personally lost track. I don't use these very short-term options, but I just noticed that they have introduced these, and CBOE keeps introducing new innovative ways of using options. Now, every option comes with a strike price. Strike price is the price at which the right to buy or sell can be exercised. So for example, let's say Apple's stock price is 112 per share. This is an old screenshot, but the concept doesn't change, so I haven't changed the screenshot. Now, this option, which is highlighted, this option has an expiry date of 16th October 2020, which is 35 days from the date of this screenshot, and the strike price is 120. This means that this 120 strike call option entitles the holder of the option to purchase Apple shares at $120 on or before 16th of October, irrespective of what the share price is on that particular day. Even if the share price is $200, the owner of the call option will be able to buy the call at 120. Multiplier is the number of units of the underlying security that an option controls. In option, we talk of contracts. So one contract of these equity options, like the option on Apple, controls 100 shares. So one contract, it gives the owner right to purchase 100 shares of Apple at this price on or before this date. Now, mind you, while in most of the common options that we use, they come with a multiplier of 100, but there are options in other markets which have different multipliers. Like in some of the European markets, you have multipliers of 10. There are even options which have funny multipliers, which is not even a round figure. Okay, so the important thing is to always check the contract before you are using an option, and ensure that you exactly know what the multiplier is. The premium is basically the market price of the option, which the buyer needs to pay to acquire the right. Just like when you buy an insurance policy, you need to pay a premium. So it's exactly the same. So in this case, this option has a premium of $3.50, which means that the total amount to be paid for one contract is $3.50 multiplied by 100, which is $350. Now, interesting thing is, if Apple shares go to zero, then if you are a stockholder, you lose the entire investment. But in case of an option holder, you just lose the option premium, which is $350. So that is the benefit of having a leveraged instrument. Whereas if, let's say, the share price goes to 150, you end up making almost a similar amount that the stockholder will who bought the stock at 120 will make. In this case, it is $30 multiplied by 100. But for the option holder, we'll make 30 multiplied by 100, which is 3,000, minus the premium of 350, which they paid to buy this option. So it's pretty straightforward. The call option is a right to buy 100 shares or any underlying security at a certain strike price on or before the expiry date of the option. Now, as you can imagine, as the share price increases, the value of the call option increases in a leveraged manner, and vice versa. So similarly, in case of put option, it is the right to sell the stock. So if the share price decreases, the value of the put option increases. Now, the price of an option, which is basically the market price of an option, should always be greater or equal to the benefit the owner can get by exercising the option, which is basically the intrinsic value of the option. Now, if that is not the case, then it will be suboptimal for the owner to accept the market price. I'll give you an example. Let's say if I have a wallet which has a $100 bill in it. Now, does it make sense for me to sell that wallet? I mean, however old and tattered the wallet might be, does it make sense for me to sell that wallet for less than $100? I mean, it will be silly because the wallet has a $100 note in it. So that establishes the intrinsic value of that wallet, which is $100. So I can sell it for any price higher than $100, but definitely not less than $100. So same is the case with an option. So an option premium basically has two components. So these two components of an option premium is intrinsic value and the time value. Now, intrinsic value of an option, of a call option, is basically the share price minus the strike price of the call option. For example, in this case, the Facebook stock price is at $329. So the $350 option, that is the call option, has no intrinsic value because the person owning that option, he or she can always go to the market and buy Facebook for $329. So it does not make sense for that person to exercise his right. However, they might still decide to buy this option, maybe because they are speculating that the share price is expected to go up. So they can buy this option at a cheaper price. Whereas the 300 strike call option has an intrinsic value of $29.13 because the owner of the call option can just exercise the right of purchasing Facebook at $300 from the market and then go and sell Facebook immediately at $329.30. So there's an intrinsic value of 29.13. The extrinsic value of an option is the part of the market price over and above the intrinsic value. It is also called the time value of an option. So in this case, for the 300 strike call option, it already has an intrinsic value of 29.13, but the option premium is 53.7, which means the extrinsic value is the premium minus intrinsic value, which is 24.57. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So the extrinsic value of an option decays with the passage of time. As an option approaches expiry, the extrinsic value tends to zero. On expiry date, the extrinsic value vanishes, and the only thing that remains is the intrinsic value. So this tattered old wallet that I talked about, so with the passage of time, that will probably just disintegrate, and eventually nothing will be left but that $100 bill. So that is exactly how the time value option is. What we have done today is just scratch the surface. There is a lot more out there that we want you to have absolutely free access to. So what we have done is created a free preview for our option series program, where we have published many of our strategies, our case studies, and a lot of our tutorial videos for you to access absolutely free of cost. So you can join the free preview by clicking the link, which is there in the description section below. And I would love to see you there.